Hi everyone, thought I'd do a upload on how I inlay some of my parabola tabletops. This one's been inlaid with black bean and Queensland walnut. So I'll go through the procedure of how I actually do that. I've got this jig here that is made specifically for this task, and it's made to fit one specific router, which is my little Ryobi router. So it's just clamped in place, and basically it's just a fence that locks in the router on both sides. So that's my little Ryobi that's been specifically set up for this task. It gets used for nothing else. I run a 1/4 inch spiral cutter for this, so I eliminate any tear out. I spin it around at the end because that's the open side, so I can see where I have to stop exactly on the end of the line. I run it back just to make sure that I've got a nice clean cut along the entire length. So there's one completed cut. There's about a dozen all up, I think. That's a closer view of the cut being made. It'd be nice to have some extraction on this, but for this little job I don't worry about it. And you can see I cut right up to the line and then run back along the trench again. So that's all the cuts done. You can see where the circles are marked out, where the inlay is going to be cut out later on for them, once the stringing has been pressed in place. So you can see that the ends are rounded from the routed bits, so they have to be squared off now. I use two chisels. I use my widest chisel first to just ensure that the line that I'm cutting in is parallel, because I keep it hard up against the sides of the trench. And then I've got a 1/4 inch wide chisel which I use to take right up to the end. I undercut a little bit just so I know that I'm going to get a nice clean fit on the very top of the inlay. So that's a close-up of the cut, and it's right up on the pencil line. So these have got to be inlaid now. As with all my glue ups pretty much, I'm using epoxy here. This is the Australian product Techniglue. The reason I'm using epoxy is I don't really want to introduce any moisture into this, which may be detrimental down the line, because a fair amount of glue's got to be used to put these in, especially to put the big circles in. So this is a two-part epoxy. It's 2 parts epoxy to 1 part hardener. And then I tint it with paint glue, which I just get at my local hardware store, just in case there's any glue lines. Though it's been tinted to the same colour as the black bean, which is what I'm inlaying. I put it into a syringe. I'm sure there's probably an easier way to put it in there, I just don't know it. But the syringe is a very fast way and clean way of putting the glue into the slots. I bang the inlay in so that it's all the way to the end. On this side it doesn't matter, on the left side, because that's going to be routed out to fit the circle. But on the end piece there, I really need that banged hard up against the end of the trench. So once they've dried overnight, then I just pass it through my drum sander and take it down so that the inlay is sitting flush with the tabletop. If you don't have a drum sander, then I guess you'd have to hand plane them down. So there's time now to cut the discs out. So the discs are roughly cut on the bandsaw, and then I final finish them right up to the pencil line on my disc sander. It's slightly angled, at a very, very slight angle, just so the bottom of the disc is slightly smaller than the top, just to help get these in a bit easier. Again, I'm using the epoxy. I'm not worrying about tinting at this time. The circles were routed out with a template. I'm not sure why I didn't film that. You could probably press this in place if you wanted to in a vacuum press. I just find it easier just to use glue up cauls and clamps. So the cauls are taped with packing tape on the underside so that they won't stick to the epoxy. Again, it's just clamped in place. And the same with the third one. So they'll be clamped up again overnight, and there's the end result once the finish has been applied. I hope this video helps you out a little bit, and thanks for all the people that have subscribed in the last week. It's been very gratifying. Bye.